Okay, what you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Hello. Good morning. Like always, guys, if there's any pairs you're looking at, leave it down in the chat. We'll take a look at any pairs, any trades, or any questions. Leave it down in the chat. We'll take a look at it. Grand Rising, what is that, Tony? But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. If you do want to check out my Telegram channel, feel free to do that. Link in the description. Also in the chat there, post my setup, my trades, and my videos there, so feel free to check that out if you want to. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my IC Markets affiliate link there. Feel free to check it out if you are indeed looking for a broker. But yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Had some big movements yesterday due to the news that came out at 1:30, but obviously you probably all have seen that already. But yeah, morning and welcome to the stream. Hey Josh, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. USD CAD, pound JPY, no problem. Good morning, Fred. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hi Sha, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Good morning. Hey Much, hope you're doing good. So yeah, I'll get into USD CAD and pound JPY in a second, but as you can see, I'm currently in a gold long position. Bit more of a short term for this one, maybe a couple of days or so, depending on momentum. But I'm looking to see if I can catch a bit of a move to the upside for gold. Again, I'm still overall bearish for gold, expecting price to actually break through the support. But with the price action, what we're doing right here at 1700 on that weekly level, I'm expecting gold to have a bigger reaction to the upside first before we do in fact sell off. So I'm looking for a bit more short-term buys, catch the buys to the upside and then sell it back down. I don't know, maybe next week or the week after, depends on price action, of course. But yeah, I've gone long on gold. Entry there, stop loss, a bit of room underneath those wicks there. We're coming to 1700, which is a big psychological level running through the support, as you can see there. I won't get it perfect, but basically 1700 there, using that as support, looking to see if you can get a move to the upside off this structure here. Nice low, high, low, high, looking for potentially a higher low. There's something that we could do. We could push up, potentially sell off like that. So that is my first take profit there. I'm looking to see if we can push back to those highs. And yeah, we had a crazy move to the downside, as you can see on the left. I was favoring gold to push up yesterday on the stream back to these highs here. We did see some nice momentum, but then of course news came in, dollar strength, and gold obviously took a dive to the downside as dollar went up. So huge move to the downside, and with all dollar pairs, I'll go into USD CAD and pound yen now, but obviously as you can see, USD CAD huge move to the upside. Again, difficult to catch these buys because I was actually very bullish on USD CAD still, and I'm looking for buys in this area, but I didn't really get any setup there to buy the market. And as soon as the news came in, we had this huge candle there. And again, that kind of skews up risk reward, and I'm not really looking to buy on news candles anyway. So, you know, we would have been looking something like this, and the risk reward would be out the window there. So, unfortunately, didn't manage to capitalize on those USD CAD buys, but price is still looking pretty bullish. Again, we're back into the resistance here, and we've clawed our way back above this key level here. So, with USD CAD, I would very like it if price could have a pullback to come and retest these areas here before going bullish again. Maybe a pullback into that low there could be nice at 1.31 or 1.305, but those are the two areas I'm looking for the pullback in. You can look for sells in these areas. You know, price is having a hard time. I understand the sells in these areas, but again, if you do get into any sells, most likely will be short-lived. You know, I know price is trading at strong resistance on the daily time frame, so yeah, it does make sense 100%. But the trend is still very much to the upside, and that's where the bulls are pushing. And again, dollar is still overall strong as well. So if you do get some sales, does look good, but you know, do take your profit as price goes along. And if you do find some buys later on, you know, buys will be looking like your best bet. But obviously you want to see some retracement. Don't really want to be buying at these areas. You can see all this rejection here on the left. It doesn't make any sense to go into any longs, or you know, looking to take advantage of that. Maybe some scalps on the low time frames, but even that you want to be out fairly quickly as well. So yeah, with USD CAD, some retracement would be nice, back down to 1.31, buys from that, or even better into this daily region here, and buys from that. So that's what I'll be looking for USD CAD. Good morning, gaming channel. How are you? Hope you are doing good. Welcome to the stream. Hey Ross, good morning. Good morning. Hope you are. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hope you are too. Any pairs you guys are looking at after the crazy movement we saw yesterday? Hopefully everyone managed their risk and we don't have any blown accounts or anything like that, because I know for a fact with that sort of movement, a lot of people definitely would have been wiped out after that. So yeah, pound JPY as well, similar for this one. Still looking for price to get to, well, it has hit the resistance we've been looking for, which is, you know, this kind of general area of resistance. We have hit that, hence we've got a bit of reaction there to the downside. But I still do think pound yen has some upside to it. I'm still expecting pound yen to eventually go and take out the wick there. Excuse me. To go and take out the wick there. But I'm still treating this as retracement for pound yen. I'm still treating this as retracement. I'm not really seeing any clear setups, to be fair, to go long. I do like, actually no, I was about to say I don't like the structure of price right now. It's making higher highs and higher lows, which is clear to see. This is obviously our price swing low. And then we've had this nice move to the upside. Price is very, very choppy. Of course, this is where the news came in, big fade to the upside. Into that 168 region, and then from there we roll back over. So pound yen for me is still bullish. I would probably only be focusing on buys for now unless structure changes. Ideally buys would have been nice back down here, because we didn't hold that 4H zone. We didn't hold that 4H zone running through this level here at 166 that I was talking about yesterday. As you can see, we've broken through that. So you know, we need to get back above that for that to become relevant again for us for buying. So I'd still favour buys for pound yen. If you're looking for a quick trade, I would expect us to maybe come back and retest this 166 mark, that consolidation. Then we broke to the downside. That could be a nice little push into that. But ideally, I'd rather buy off support down here at 164. Not really at an area of value for me. I suppose maybe this level there, resistance support. So I suppose potentially get moved to the upside from that. But if I was looking to trade this, I want price to pull back a little bit deeper first before entertaining any buys there. But yeah, I'd favour price back to 166. Like I said, long term, I still expect some new highs going. So overall, buying is still where I expect the market to head towards. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the price action. Probably want to see one more move to the downside, then you can get moving to 166, maybe back to highs, so on and so forth. So hopefully that made sense there on pound JPY. Taking that gold entry I wanted. Yeah, I'm trading gold as well. Yeah, I mean gold's looking tasty, to be fair, looking very, very tasty. I'm expecting gold to give us a nice little reaction to the upside, especially coming into 1700. You can see how many wicks price is placed into 1700. Very, very big psychological level, which obviously lines up with the support I'm buying from right there. So I'm expecting gold to see some upside into 1720, which is that area there. I may look to take profits here, depending how we react to it, to be fair. But I'm looking at 1720 and potentially back to highs, looking for a potential higher low in respect to that low there and that low over there as well. So yeah, I'm actually looking for some upside in gold. I was favouring gold to go and hit those highs there yesterday, but of course the news just, you know, completely corrected everything. So very, very interesting times. But again, I'm still overall bearish on gold, but short-term buys for me, short-term buys. I'll be managing this fairly aggressively as well, which is why I said if it does come into here and starts reacting, I may start to take some profit and go break even quickly, because this is for me counter trend trading, and in this type of trades, you know, I want to be careful with my management, slightly more aggressive than I would normally be. But obviously that's just because I'm counter trend. If it was with the trend, you know, I would kind of let it breathe a little bit, but I do think we can see a bit of a reaction to the upside for gold. Like I said in my weekly analysis, I do think we can still hit 1740, maybe even 1760 coming from this weekly region, and from those areas as well, we'll be looking to plan my sell trades. And we've still got quite a bit of a way before we get there. So I'm gonna see if we can take advantage of the buys first and then sell it at a later date, if that's the case, of course. But we'll have to see. Pound yen, I just did that one. If you didn't catch it, let me know. Euro USD, I'll take a look. Good morning, life. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I was looking at the same thing. Nice, Ross. Fatima, hi. Could you analysis on the DXY? Of course. Okay, so I'll go Euro USD first because that's what we said we'll do, and then I'll go into the DXY. So, yeah, Euro USD again, colossal move to the downside. Very aggressive, huge bearish candle there. But Euro USD is interesting because obviously high time frames, everything's still pretty bearish. We did come into this broken support, reacted with it. Again, difficult to catch that trade really, to be fair. Did have a bearish engulfing there, but it was on top of the support. And then we came yesterday and had a huge move to the downside. So there's no real good entry to get involved, unfortunately, which is not going to be the case all the time. But yeah, reaction from that daily level to the downside. And now prices kind of come back into these price swing lows here, which is obviously where we had the consolidation. And we could see a bounce to the upside. We don't want to be too aggressive with these long trades here with Euro USD because obviously the market in terms of momentum and thank you so much Forex for subscribing. In terms of momentum and structure, it's still pointing down, and we want to be trading, with that kind of confluence just to maximize our potential of winning a trade. But with the way the market is forming here, we've got this low back down here, formed this high, formed this lower low. Now we've obviously broken through that 4H structure and formed this high over there. Now we've had this big move to the downside, which could be one or two things. It could either be the daily kicking back in, and now we're going to see the continuation back down to lows, or it could just be retracement of this 4H consolidation and that impulsive breakout into this level here and a move to the upside, because this level here was our last down move before we ripped to the upside, which means it's a very important level of support, which the market is holding right now. So for Euro USD, I wouldn't sell the market. Main reason we're coming into that consolidation, and we've obviously had such a big move. So if you're looking to sell, you want price to retrace anyway to the upside. So sells are kind of off the cards for me a little bit. Maybe if we break through the support here, break through that support there, catch a little retest, something like that, that would make a lot more sense for me for sales. Oh, did not mean to do that. That would make a lot more sense for me for sales, and obviously ride it back down to these lows here, or even this area here. Those sells will make sense. But because we're still holding on to this 4H level here, which gave us a last down move, and then we broke to the upside, if Euro USD breaks through this resistance, thank you so much also for subscribing. If Euro USD breaks through this resistance here at 0.999991, buys for me look like a good bet. Buys look like a good bet because this could be price forming higher low. If we can break structure to the upside, because we just had a pretty aggressive sell-off there, as you can see with those two bearish candles. Go to the 30-minute time frame, pretty aggressive sell-off there to the downside. Again, could be trapping some sellers in with fear of missing out on all that lovely stuff. But now that if we break through that resistance, basically what we're just getting is a textbook double bottom, something like this. Break through that resistance, which would be this level here. Look for a retest on that, on the flip side of it, on the retest. And then from there, you can base some buys to the upside. So break above that, retest it, and then you can get some buys. So that would be a nice little setup, in my opinion, for Euro USD, because right now we do have a little bit of a range, but it's on a very key level. So if it breaks to the upside, we can probably see some retracement. And there is a retracement, I'd probably say the top of these wicks here, and the underside of that level, which broke with all that momentum. Target 1, target 2, 1.0039 or 1.00400 we'll call it, and 1.01125. So nice little break and retest, probably drop to maybe the 30-minute or the 15-minute to get a good entry. But if we break to the downside, then that's when I expect, okay, daily's probably kicking in now. Overall bearish bias is coming back in from the higher time frames. Break and retest of that low, and you got target 1 there, target 2, and maybe some new lows as well for Euro USD. So yeah, Euro USD for me, very important level. If we can break through that resistance there, I would favor buys. Break for that one, I would favor sells. But yeah, the thing is, we've had such a huge candle after news, which for me sometimes, actually not sometimes, most of the time, more often than not, it's normally deceiving, which happened even yesterday with pound USD, with the news yesterday on pound. Big candle on the hourly time frame. Price then reversed that momentum. So typically I don't really want to follow news candles. I want price to settle first, and then I can make out what I want price to do next. And with this one, we've got all that momentum now kind of depleted. So yeah, if it breaks through that resistance, buys target 1, target 2, break below, we just know the daily's taking control and can probably see some sales back down to those lows. So yeah, keep an eye on that price action for Euro USD. But I'll go into the DXY now. So DXY, kind of the flip side of Euro USD, not really the same as terms of double bottom and break of resistance. Euro USD looks a little bit different, a little bit cleaner, but against the same scenario of huge move to the upside. Again, you think about the psychology of a lot of people seeing this move here. The trends are obviously bullish on the higher time frames. Now people are seeing this bullish candle. Don't want to have the fear of missing out or missing on that pullback. A lot of buys in this area here, which could just fund the move for price to go right back down. Because again, it's not a very stable move here. It's just a big candle. Healthy moves in the market have retracements and it forms structure. Reason being, there's a lot of places where price can go and find support and keep on its journey. Here, there's not a lot of support. So if we start rolling over, price most likely will come, back down to some of these areas and these areas here as well. So buying after that impulse, never really a good idea. You want price to correct, form support, and then look to get in. But yeah, DXY, strong reaction from the support. Again, nothing's really changed from my overall bias for the DXY and my overall bias for Euro USD. Still very bullish on both of them until daily structure breaks. The two areas of interest I had was obviously this support being 1 and this resistance turn support being 2. I thought we were going to clear this support yesterday, but we didn't. News just pulled us back in. So from the DXY perspective, coming into resistance here, we're obviously reacting to that. If I go in the hourly time frame, if we don't break through this, then I would expect price to drop to the downside as well. So as long as we don't see a continuation of that bullish momentum, I'll expect price to fall from 110, which again, very key psychological level. So yeah, Euro USD, DXY sort of in sync here. Again, downside targets for the DXY. This will be one of them, and this will probably be another one of them. And do keep in mind, obviously everything is quite bullish still. So even though I do favor price to roll over, we could kick in bullish for one of these levels here. So do keep that in mind. And same thing for Euro USD as well. We could go bearish from one of these levels and roll back over. But yeah, that's what I've got going for DXY and Euro USD for the next probably day or two. See what happens. If we do break through the structure, then yeah, obviously price most likely will go back to highs, and we might see another huge bullish leg again to the upside for the DXY. Same thing with Euro USD. If we clear this support, then I'll expect price to rip to the downside again. But yeah, hopefully that made sense there on Euro USD and the DXY. Yeah, sure. Euro AUD, Euro pound oil. We'll get to it, Basil, no problem. Any analysis on Nasdaq? Yeah, I'll take a look at that, no problem. Obviously, indices were not flying. What am I talking about? They were melting. They were melting big time yesterday. But I'll take a look at Euro AUD, Euro pound, and oil. So yeah, Euro AUD still pushing to the upside for this one, breaking retest to that prior high there. Support price is still pushing. Again, I do think this is coming up to some nice areas to sell, but I do think there's a little bit more upside left before we can look to sell this one. 1.49, 1.495, this is kind of the area I'm looking at to sell Euro AUD, and potentially even up to this area here as well. I'm basically looking for that next lower high to form on the daily. Got that structure there, bullish pullback, another push, break of structure, looking for lower high to form somewhere. This could be a nice little level, and so is that one over there. So I'm looking at Euro AUD pushing a little bit higher. Hourly structure is still pretty bullish. If you're looking to trade this one, I'd say a pullback into this area or into this area will look good. Some nice short-term longs to the upside. So I was at 1.48 and obviously 1.4 1.475, 1.481. So one of those two levels look good for longs. Obviously, if you break through the first one, then you're looking at the second one. But either one of these levels look like good long opportunities, and a push to 1.49 is where I expect the market to be attracted from a daily perspective. So up at 1.49, I do think some sales could be looking good. So, I want to probably start to switch the bias, look what's going on at that area, and then probably can get some sales going back down again when structure and we get confirmation in those areas. But for now, I favor price continue to the upside, again, maybe for a day or two. A pullback into these areas would be nice if you're looking to buy the market, if you're waiting for sales, and obviously, stay a little bit patient, wait for price to get to some of those areas up there. But yeah, buys 1.48 and 1.475. Oil will take a look, no problem. Morning, Tim. View on NZJPY, of course, we'll take a look, no worries. I'm actually going to get to the JPY pairs a little bit because some interesting price action has been developing on most of them, if not all. Okay, I'll take a look at Euro Pound now. Again, Euro Pound not being a fan of the pair recently. Okay, so yeah, high time frames coming to daily resistance. Again, expecting price to go and take out that wick there. Did we do it? Yes, we did. Just ever so slightly, as you can see. If I just tidy that up a little bit, price is just about poke through that wick. So again, now that we've done that, we could see some downside now. We've seen that with Pound USD, just about spike through those COVID lows, and then price starts to rally to the upside. So we could start to see the opposite happen here for Euro Pound. Obviously, momentum and structure is still pretty bullish here, but you can see we are starting to lose some momentum here with this consolidation. Big push to the upside, price came back down, potentially forming a lower high here as well. So obviously got the high there, potentially lower high. This is obviously a very, very key level, which is keeping the market bullish. Break and retest for that, probably catch some nice sales. I'll say target 1 into that area there, and target 2 back down to these lows. So something like this makes the most sense to me for Euro Pound. Break and retest to the 0.86565. Pushing to 0.86, and then if we're lucky, 0.85739 as well, depending how bearish we can get. But you can see the market slowing down, trying to go bullish. Big kind of climax there, 0.8872, fell back down, potential lower high. Obviously, you see price break through this level to get the break of structure, and then yeah, a little retest there, and we can get some sales back into that low and into this low there as well. If you're looking to buy the market, I'll probably wait for price to snap this high there to actually give us a higher high, something like this. Then we can get some buys again. Otherwise, I would only be focusing on sells, especially after just taking liquidity after that major high. So hopefully that made sense there for Euro Pound and oil. We'll take a look at oil as well. Oil still bearish, structure still points to the downside here on the daily, lower low after lower low and lower high after lower high. Still pointing to the downside, so overall bias is definitely bearish. We have clawed back above this key support here, which could maybe give us a bounce to the upside. But again, always have to be a little bit careful with the buys on this pair. What I'm seeing right now, we've got the low, lower high, formed a beautiful low down there, having a nice pullback. Again, things are still looking bearish overall since we obviously haven't broken through that structure up there. Could be forming a lower high, to be fair. To be honest, I wouldn't even look to sell this pair, to be fair. Knowing that we're back above that daily level as well. Yeah, we had a very strong move. Price obviously respected that low. It's starting to pull back again. Might see price sell off from here, 88. Sell off back down into that level there. But we could go bullish again, because again, we're still above that daily support now. So for me, it's getting a bit corrected. Price is kind of a little bit sideways, almost consolidation, to be fair. So if you want to find some aggressive trades, I'll say shorts from 88 makes sense and buys from 85.38. But I'll probably just wait for the buys because they make a lot more sense. You can get a nice little safe stop loss in. You've got the daily support in your favor, and you can manage trades from that. But yeah, I wouldn't really want to trade in this area. So I would advise to wait for it to see if you can get a pullback into this area. We may not, we may do. But if we do support, nice buys from there, protect stop loss down there, of course. Other than that, it's getting a little bit choppy now, to be fair. I'd ideally want price to pull back a little bit further. Nice little retest up there on the daily would look nice at 92.54. Sells from that would look good. And that could be where price is heading towards, could be. But yeah, if you're looking to trade oil, I'd wait for buys at that support. Okay, we'll take a look at NAS, NZJPY, NZCAD, no problemo. Euro NZD, okay, we'll have a little look see. I think today could be a day waiting. Yeah, it could be, to be fair. I mean, I've taken the position on pound USD, not pound USD, on gold longs. So again, if you don't find what you're looking for, then obviously 100% a day of waiting. But I think DXY is definitely in a pinnacle little state where if you do break through 110, it could be wraps for this one. We could fly. At the moment, we're still below it, so I do favor DXY to come back down. But again, one of these two areas could provide some big buy opportunities. So yeah, DXY is in a little bit of an interesting area. For now, I do expect to see some downside, but it could purely be retracement and we could fly. So, you know, definitely don't ignore that. And it's all because of the higher time frames. Higher time frames for me win almost every time. 7 times out of 10, I would say higher time frames win in terms of direction. So, you know, I wouldn't, even though I'm saying DXY could come back down for a day or two, like I said, we could reverse very, very aggressively. So do watch out for that if you are looking to take advantage of the downside move, which is me as well on gold, but I'll be looking to take my profit fairly quickly with this one. I do have a target up there, which is technically my TP1, but I'll probably be looking at this area a lot as well. I'll be looking at this area here, 1712, just in case we react with that and then potentially roll over. Because again, gold, I still do see it breaking through 1700 and all these levels here down to the 1600, something like that. But as things stand with the price action, I do favor gold to rally first and then roll over. So that's why I'm in the buys currently. But yeah, I will be managing this trade fairly aggressively because it is counter trend trading. But I'll take a look at NAS. So yeah, this one, huge move to the downside, as you can see. Again, this one hit the target area perfectly. I said two areas where potentially where the indices can sell from. I was talking about this being one of them and that being the second one. And obviously we broke through the first one, tapped into the second one, and huge sell-off. Again, difficult to catch this trade, to be fair, because you can see price was just slowly pushing to that level. As soon as price gets into there, wick to the upside, news hits, and then huge move to the downside. So unless you've kind of placed an order here, something like that, there's not really much confirmation to enter this trade at all. So that's the kind of sometimes the negative side of using candlesticks to enter trades. Because sometimes you do miss trades because you don't get confirmation. Price kind of taps into your area, then rockets off. This would be one of those scenarios. But then with orders, obviously you're a little bit more exposed, as in if I just have the order there and say price just rally straight through the level, if you're waiting for confirmation, you dodge that bullet, whereas orders, you obviously would take the loss. So it's a win, lose some scenarios with both opportunities, really, orders or just waiting for market execution. So this, yeah, I would definitely not have caught the trade even if I was looking at that pair. But I hit the level, nice reaction to the downside. Price is still looking pretty bearish after that move. We are coming back into the same support where we rebounded from. So basically nothing has changed from that part. I said when we came here last time, again, some potential buys can be looking good here. Same now. Unless we break through this, that's when I'll start to look at price coming back down to these areas here, which is basically the swing lows. So if you can break through this resistance, support, if you can break through that support, fantastic. That's when I expect the trend to continue. But this is where we saw some upside the first time. So again, if we claw onto this level, we could probably see some upside again. So buys could be looking good. Again, I do expect price to overall roll over, but maybe some short-term buys could be in place. I'm not really seeing any opportunities here. There's not enough price action for me to go off from. I'm looking at the hourly time frame here. Yeah, everything is still looking pretty bearish. I wouldn't really look to buy right now. I know we're broken outside this consolidation. We could maybe get a nice break and retest, something like that. I suppose so. A bit more aggressive, to be fair. There's no real key area that we're working with other than that, well, in the daily area. But if you're looking for some short-term scalps, a nice little break and retest of the range into that range up there could be a nice little shout, to play that range between those two areas. Other than that, I'll just sit back and wait for some more development, because after that colossal move, we need price to settle. I want price to start reacting some levels on the left, and we haven't really done that yet. So yeah, for me, for this one, I'll stay patient, maybe wait for a couple more 4H candles to be printed, and then we can start reading the price action a little bit better. But if you're really looking to trade this one, break me test of that consolidation to that range looks like a good shout. Other than that, I'm not really seeing much on this one just yet. So yeah, I'll probably wait for a bit more development with that one. NZJPY, NZCAD, USD, we'll get into those pairs. I'll take a look at pound USD as well. Could you use DXY as a reference to take positions on major pairs? Yes, you can. The way I use DXY is definitely, I'll take a look at US30 as well. DXY for me is just basically a confluence to my trading. So, if I'm trading Euro USD, everything looks good from a short perspective, let's say. And I look at the DXY and everything looks good from a long perspective. That's just another confluence to your trade. Just like a trend line's a confluence, fibs a confluence, key levels a confluence, all of these confluence, DXY lining up with your bias and your analysis is just another confluence to the trade. I wouldn't take a trade just because the DXY is looking good. So if the DXY is looking good, I wouldn't just jump onto Euro USD and do the exact opposite. Euro USD has to look good on its own, just on its own, or pure price action. If the price action looks good, then DXY looking good as well is just a bonus to that. So yeah, DXY for me is a good confluence tool. Sometimes when Euro USD and the DXY are out of sync, sometimes it's a little bit of a red flag not to trade Euro USD. Obviously, I would still trade it probably anyway if I have other confluences which are good. But sometimes when they're out of sync, it is a bit of a red flag to trade. But when they're in sync, it's just a great confluence to trade. But I wouldn't trade it just by itself and go and trade other dollar pairs just because of what the DXY is doing. It's just a good bonus to use in the markets. So yeah, Euro NZD, I said with this one, actually no, Euro AUD I was talking about. Euro NZD, I'm still looking at sells for this one, but the thing is still flying. So I'm looking for sales, but I'm not really, looking to place any entries just yet. We're about to hit 1.67 key psychological level where we could start to bounce from, but nothing there yet. I'm still seeing higher highs and higher lows. Prices breaking structure to the upside. For me, if you only want to trade this one, buys are your best bet. So maybe a pullback into one of these two areas will look good, which is 1.65, 800, and also this area here as well, 1.65, 400, one of these two areas. Nice little pullback into that. That will probably provide some nice buys, and you can basically follow the trend to the upside. I am expecting this to eventually roll over. So when that structure does break, that's when I'll be looking to step into the market and take some sales. We are coming to a fairly key level right now, to be fair. So yeah, 1.67 could be the level that gives us that bearish reaction. At the moment in time, everything's still bullish though. So again, from a day trading point of view, intraday momentum, pull back, just look to carry that momentum to the upside. And until structure breaks from a bearish perspective, just keep pushing that bullish momentum because that's where the market is going. No real need to go against that until the market says so. So USD still expect price to push in that direction. NZJPY, I'll take a look at this one. So yeah, the JPY pair is seeing a lot of downside, especially NZD and AUD. I think NZD and AUD were very, very weak yesterday actually. So again, a very, very strong move to the downside. Again, daily high time frames, everything is still pretty bullish for this one. So nothing has changed other than the fact that obviously we formed some new highs past this point, but we already did that a few days ago. So again, still treating this as a pullback. Every down move I see on this market will be a pullback until structure breaks, and then I'll start to obviously change my bias. But from a full H perspective, key areas the market's coming into, which is that per hour high, obviously it's broken through that one, so that one's now invalid unless we get back above. Second area of interest is this level here, which we've just about tapped into. So 85,800, again, looking for buys still. And even this consolidation here would be a very, very nice place for buys at 85. I'm not too sure if we'll get all the way down there. If we do, fantastic. That would be a great place for a higher low to form and take advantage of some buys. But I'll be looking at 85,800 first, and then 85,200, 85 if we break through that. But for me, right now, longs look like the best bet. Obviously, from a hourly perspective, we have broken structure, so I expect us maybe to come back and retest this level here. So a push into that level makes the most sense, and from there we might even see another bearish leg. But yeah, 86,800 looks like a good buy, or even this level down here into that area. Obviously, wait for some confirmations. Right now we're just getting dojis all over the place, so nothing really to work with. But yeah, if we can hold that, push into 86,800, or what is this, 85, nice psychological level as well, into that level. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at NZD/JPY. But yeah, you gotta wait for confirmation because we could still break through that level as well. Okay, so hopefully that made sense on that one. I'll take a look at NZD CAD and Pound USD. Few requests for that one. Check out NZD CAD. It's been range for years on the monthly range, and it's just broke out the downside. Okay, I'll take a look. That is something definitely up my street on the higher time frames. Hey, thank you, Anus. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please be sure to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying it, finding it useful, informative, and subscribe as well if you haven't done already. Join the fam. I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you are new to the stream, new to the channel, I do go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do post videos on Friday, and obviously I do analyze the market on the weekend, and upload my weekly analysis then. So yeah, welcome to the channel if you are new. But yeah, let me go take a look at NZD CAD and Pound USD. I'll get to US30 as well. Okay, so NZD CAD, let's see what's going on over here. Where are you? There you are. So NZD CAD, let's go straight to I don't even have my watermark. Hope everyone knew what pairs and currency I was doing. But yeah, NZD CAD. So yeah, wow. Okay, so yeah, you are definitely right. We are breaking out this consolidation here on the monthly time frame. Yeah, so with this one, because with NZD CAD, we're kind of breaking out this consolidation, and we kind of got a big consolidation, which does make a lot of sense, because now that we're broken out this range, it could actually give us something like this, which could be colossal. We could see a huge downtrend develop on NZD CAD, which feels like the downtrend's already been going on for ages on the lower time frames. But with this information here on the monthly, you could be looking to sell NZD CAD for the next year, 2 years, depends how long it takes us to get there. Could be multiple years, to be honest, but we could be really starting to see a very, very major downtrend develop. And you can see the structure of the market just been up and down, back to these highs, consolidation, and now we've cleared that level. Obviously, we do need to stay below this level though. We do need to stay below that level for it to still be a breakout, of course. But stay below that from a monthly perspective, for the foreseeable future, 1, 2, 3 years, we could be seeing a really nice downtrend develop and just be looking to sell those pullbacks, sell those rallies. Obviously, from a swing perspective, very, very nicely. Day trading doesn't really change too much because you're still looking to take advantage of what's going on in the day, of course. So yes, that information is valuable, but from a day trading perspective, you're just going to be looking for buys and sells equally. But from a swing perspective, or if you want to do swing trading on the side, it's a good kind of market to trade. Any kind of major rally on the daily, like these ones here, great for sells. So yeah, NZD CAD definitely breaking through some major structure there. On the 4H time frame, we've just cleared these lows here on the left as well. So we're seeing structure break, daily, 4H, monthly. Everything is pretty bearish with this one. The market is pretty choppy still. Let me just darken that a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see it. If not, let me know. So yeah, the market is still moving to the downside. It's very, very corrective, which is definitely not my cup of tea. I like price to be free flowing a little bit more than that. But the market is still pushing bearish. Pushing bearish. Again, there's nothing really much to do here. We have broken through the lows, yes, but we are coming into the lows of this structure here. Potentially could see another pullback to the upside. Really, what you want to be looking for NZD-CAD is a big move to the upside, and then look to set it back down, essentially. Big move, rallies, wait for some reversal sign, and then take advantage of that for price to come back down again. Right now, things are very, very corrective, and for me, there's not a lot to do with this one. If you're really looking to trade NZD-CAD from a daily perspective, intraday perspective, wait for a break above this resistance here. We might get a nice little pullback, something like that. Into the highs of the channel, and then you want to be out of the trade because again we could roll back over. So that's the only thing I'd probably look for NZD-CAD. Nice little retest of this level there, that would make a lot of sense. Other than that, I would leave this one alone. Very, very choppy. So yeah, from a swing perspective, higher time frames, I want price to snap bullish, give me some bullish momentum that I can short. Right now the market is just too bearish, very, very corrective. Nothing for me to do here from a swing perspective. Day trading, buys above that into that level makes sense. But other than that, yeah, NZD-CAD, I just want this one to pull back really. But hopefully that made sense there. I'll jump onto pound USD. I start swing trading but fail to hold to trade longer and waiting many days for setup, then switch to day trading and doing very, very well. That's good. Again, it's all about finding your characteristics and your preference, your personality, and matching that in the market. Some people are very more fast paced and they're just, they work very, very fast and they're very intense. So, those are typically your scalpers who are just in it, 5 pips, huge lot size, disciplined, in and out very, very quickly, very, very focused. So you got different people, then you got people a bit more relaxed who maybe are doing a lot of stuff with their life and they're a bit more of a position trader. They set a trade for maybe like a month or two, or every quarter or something like that. Very, very more relaxed, not very inactive in the markets. So you have to find that personality and then obviously display that on the charts. If swing trading is not really working for you, you find you're waiting too long for a setup and it takes too long to trade, then obviously go to day trading because that probably matches your personality a little bit. But for me, I can do a little bit of both. I can do a little bit more intraday, not too intraday. I probably wouldn't go past the hourly time frame, to be fair. Maybe if I was feeling a bit dangerous, maybe the 30-minute, but I wouldn't go lower than that, to be fair. It's not really my type of trading style. But yeah, 30-minute, hourly, 4H dailies where I find myself to be comfortable with in terms of the duration of trades, the amount of length to wait for trades, and just analysts in general, to be fair. So that's like a nice little soft spot for me, but everyone's got different variations because the market is fractal. Higher time frames, lower time frames, it's all the exact same thing. It's just that the speed will be different and maybe a few other variables, but it's all the same thing really. Okay, I'll get to pound USD. Where are you? Pound USD. Okay, so yeah, pound USD for this one, again, strong moves to the downside. For this one, I did say some sales would be looking good, but we didn't quite tap into my area, to be fair. Or did we? Maybe we did just about. I mean, nothing that I would get too excited over, to be fair. And of course, that was just from the news anyway. So no real entry to get involved anyway, in my opinion. And of course, huge candle. And you're not really going to look to take a trade, on that candle there. Your risk reward would be a nonsense. So, yeah, difficult to catch that sell, to be fair. Not obviously going to catch all of them. Sometimes news just kind of wrecks things a little bit. But yeah, pound USD hasn't changed too much in terms of what I said at the start of the week. We still do have this kind of corrective channel that we're trading through. price is obviously just about wicked through the COVID lows, which may give it a bit of a bounce to the upside, as you can see over there. Just about, if we go into the hourly time frame, just about wicked through, and now we've had this big move to the downside. So pound USD, similar to euro in terms of we've got a bit of a double bottom forming here, and price is kind of just broken through this resistance. Whereas Euro USD, have we broken through? Well, we're trying to break through, haven't broken through yet. Pound USD has broken through that. So with pound, a retest on that could again provide some nice buys to the upside. This isn't looking as good as pound USD, to be fair. I mean, as Euro USD, I keep getting confused. This isn't looking as good as Euro USD buys. So if you're looking for buys, I'd favor Euro USD. Still have a little bit to wait and see if we're actually going to get the breakout. Well, we're about to close in 3 minutes, so we'll see. But I'd rather buy Euro USD than pound, to be fair. But at the end of the day, very, very similar setup, of course. I'll get into US30 in a second. But yeah, pound USD, if it can break, have a nice little retest, maybe want to drop to the 30 or the 50-minute time frame for some entries. And then, yeah, take this one to the upside. I wouldn't be too aggressive with this one because, again, the nature of the market is still pretty bearish. And you don't really want to be, trying to force the buys too much from this one because momentum is still with the bears as well. But I'd say a pushback to these highs makes sense, back into where that kind of gap formed, and probably at best maybe into that area. But I'd be locking in a lot of profit around the 1.16 area, nice psychological level, and then I'll be leaving the rest to kind of trickle up to these highs if we can get there, of course. But what I can see now for pound USD is a retest of this, a push into that level there, and then maybe if we're lucky back into that high up there as well. Again, this is all counter trend, so don't try and push the trades too much. If it's with the trend, you can push the trades all you want, really, to be fair, and try and take the most out of it. But right now, it's definitely counter trend, and the sellers on the higher time frames are still in control of the market. So we do have to show that respect, even on the lower time frames. So yeah, that's what I'll favor for pound USD. Similar setup to euro. Nice little retest of that. Obviously wait for euro to close above. Got about 1 minute and 20 seconds left, so we'll see if it closes. But yeah, if you can break above, I would favor both of them to rise, but we could fall later on if the higher time frames want to kick in. So hopefully that made sense there for pound. I'll take a look at US30 now. USDC HF looks interesting. It bounced off 200 MA. Okay, I'll take a look. Hey Jake, I'm a complete novice. Any tips? Thanks. Any tips from a complete novice? Yeah, I'll say get yourself a demo account if you haven't done already. And I'll say focus on I don't know, it kind of depends, how much time you got in your hands. If you're very, very busy and you're looking to trade on the side, then you probably want to trade maybe like five to six pairs, focus on the higher time frames like the 4H and the daily, and learn your craft there. If you've got some time in your hands, then maybe you want to focus on 2 or 3 pairs, Euro USD, Pound USD, USD CAD, I would say, are good pairs to look at, certainly if you're from the UK. And just get trading. Learn support and resistance. I do have videos on that on my channel. Candlestick patterns, price action, and market structure. Again, that might sound like I'm talking crazy, but there's not much to it, to be fair. Again, a lot of people, if you just show a bit of dedication, you can learn the technicals with trading. We just had a nice little close above that level there, so a retest of that. And again, it lines up pretty well with that psychological level at 1. If I just get onto that. There we go. So yeah, nice little retest of that, buys to the upside. But yeah, if you're a novice, in fact, that reminds me, because I do need to create some more content for new people into trading, because I realize that's actually quite a lot of people, actually. Because when I do these streams, I always do it for people who've already got a bit of experience. But I realize quite a lot of the audience don't really have much experience, or they've just started to gain some. So I actually need to make a bit more tailored content to you guys. But yeah, if you're looking to get started, the best way to is just jump straight into it. Not with live money, obviously, with a demo account. Jump into it, learn as much as possible, fade as much as possible, understand it's a process, and just understand the process that it will take some time. But yeah, support resistance, candlestick patterns, market structure. I do have videos on that on my channel, so check it out. But yeah, you just want to get into things, and you'll learn from there. But yeah, I'll take a look at USD CHF, US 30 we're getting to now, and gold, which I'm trading. I'll get into pound AUD, sure, no problem. Okay, so where are you? US 30, there you are. Okay, US 30, again, similar to all the other indices which have collapsed. This one didn't quite test the area I was calling yesterday. So again, this one difficult to catch in my opinion, because I did hand out 2 areas where we could sell off from. This being the first one, which we spiked through, so that one failed. And I said this would be a second area where we could drop from. And then, yeah, we obviously didn't quite get there. But same idea, just kind of in between my 2 areas. But yeah, prices are looking bearish again, coming back into these lows. Are we coming to any key areas? Yes, we sort of are, but we've broken through it a little bit. So we could roll over from that. But with the daily chart, we're coming into that local support. So again, not the best place you want to be for selling. If you want to sell the market, you want price to come up first and then sell it. Coming into this consolidation could be a nice little place to sell at 31,600. So ideally see some upside, retrace, and then from there we can maybe get some sells back down again. Or we might even push higher to some of those areas before we sell off. Or we might not. We could just tank, but that's not really our type of trade. Don't really be trading into these lows, just like you don't need buying into the highs. It doesn't really make too much sense to do that. So again, similar price action to US 100. We broke out the consolidation. This could give us a nice little retest into those areas there. So again, maybe some short-term buys into 31,500, which is that range. And then from here, we can start be looking for some sells for move back down again for US 30. So that's what I've got for them. Again, probably not the best buys in the world in terms of confluence. The only thing you've got going for you really is that we're coming to some daily support. We're breaking out the consolidation, and that's about it, to be fair. So if you really want to push the trade, some buys there does make some sense, but really the sells is probably what I'd be after for this one. So 31,500, 31,600 from here would look good for price to come back down again. As of right now, breaking retest on the lower time frames, it looks pretty good. So yeah, that's what I'm favourite for US 30, but ideally for this one and for the rest of the indices, I want a bit more price action before I can start calling some good opportunities with them. Okay, US 30, pound CHF, I missed that one, so I'll get onto that. Pound CHF, USD CHF, no problem, a lot of CHF pairs. And yeah, gold. What do you think about SMC? I don't really think too much about SMC, to be fair. Again, I've said many times on the stream, all trading styles, all trading strategies, they do work if you give it enough time. And by time, I mean give it enough trades. You know, give it 50, 100 trades. Probably almost every strategy will come out in the green. SMC is one of those strategies where it's I don't know, because I've never really learned it. I want to say it's hard to understand, but that's just because I'm looking at it from a far distance where I don't actually understand SMC that well, because I just haven't learned it, so I can't really comment on that. But SMC, you know, you're maximizing your risk. I mean, you're maximizing your rewards, with high risk rewards. So very low stop loss, big rewards. So obviously you don't really need to win that much with SMC. You can afford to be profitable with probably a 20% or 30% win rate. Obviously the win rate doesn't look appealing, but with the risk rewards, it would definitely outweigh your losses. So all strategies are profitable. The key thing you should be looking for is risk management. Risk management is the foundation, and you build your strategy on top of that. So yeah, I don't really have too much to say on that. Same with any other strategy there is, really. As long as you've got good risk management, you'll come out on the green. But yeah, I've never really learned any of their kind of strategies, so I don't really know too much about it, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to pound CHF, which is over here. Okay, so pound CHF. Okay, so beautiful bearish trend. This one has broken through those COVID lows. as you can see over here, a lot better than pound USD. Big spike to the, oh, actually pulled back, but obviously broken through, big spike to the downside. Again, the market is still predominantly very, very bearish. With this one, it's a little bit aggressive because of where we're trading. Typically underneath these lows, I don't want to be selling the market straight away. It's just a very kind of compromised area. You know, it's a very, very important area where a lot of people will be looking at buying and selling on the break and retest. Typically, I want price to kind of do its thing, and then I'll jump onto momentum after everything's kind of developed. I don't really want to be taking a break and retest here. It's a little bit exposed, but if you're just focusing on price action, not thinking about it too much like I just did there, this is a great opportunity. Obviously, price is still making lower lows and lower highs. Nice big fake out there, grabbing liquidity above those highs. Big drop to the downside from the low there. And now prices pull back into this area here. So if you can hold this at 1.11165, some sales could be looking good here. I wouldn't hold the trade for too long. Maybe back into that resistance looks good, and maybe back to the lows there. But something like that looks good. Obviously breaking above that, we might be seeing a bit of a deeper correction. So if you break above this, we might be seeing something like this happen, and then bigger move to the upside. But obviously we need a lot more price action before I start calling those buys. But yeah, everything right now for me still looks bearish. Coming into this support here, time resistance, wait for maybe a candlestick entry down in the 30-minute, and then yeah, you can trade it to 1 and target 2. That's what I'll be favoring for pound Swiss. Okay, so I need to get rid of that then. So yeah, hopefully that made sense on that pair. We need to get a moderator. Okay, so where were we? USDC GF, we'll get into that now. Pound AUD and gold. No problem, Jake. Happy to help. No problem, Tony. Happy to help as well. I appreciate you guys coming onto the stream. If you are enjoying it, leave a like. Okay, USDC at Chef. But how is gold doing? Because obviously I am trading that pair. Okay, hasn't moved too much. Still holding that same support. Hope you can get some bullish momentum, come back into that one, but hasn't really done anything, to be fair, since I've entered. Okay, where is USDC at Chef? There you are. Okay, so with this one, okay, USDC at Chef is at a very, very key level. So you said it also hit the 200 MA, and it's also at a very key level here on the daily chart, where you can see support formed initially, tested again, bit of a fake out there to the downside, and now it's back above with a strong bullish engulfing. Looks like price is holding this level as support as well. So with USDC at Chef, we could see a nice little rally to the upside here for this one. Again, I probably wouldn't hold on for too long because USDC Chef is very, very up and down, as you can see. So we could get a nice little push, get people excited, and then we could come straight back down. It's almost turning into a bit of a range, to be fair. So yeah, with USDC at Chef, we do have some resistance here. If we can clear that, that would be nice. Break through this area, then we've got, you know, a fairly clean move to the upside here. Maybe back into this resistance here will be a nice target, and maybe if we're lucky all the way up to there as well will be a good target to have. But there's a lot of friction where price is right now. See all those wicks there on the left, big strong move to the downside, big candle back into this area. Now we're getting a lot of wicks there forming again. So yeah, with this one, wait for a nice strong 4H candle closing above here. Then we can see some retracement, and then you can catch some buys on the retest of that and take momentum in your direction. Nice little target there, resistance at 0.96925. Then we've got that broken support here, gave us that move to the upside before the collapse at 0.97654. So one of those two areas would be a nice target. But yeah, like I said, right now all we're seeing is consolidation. So wait for price to do something at least. Don't look to buy in or sell into this, because it's very, very deceiving with this consolidation as to which direction price is going to go next. So wait for price to break out. Like I said, if it's the upside, that'll be nice. Pull back, retest, then you can see momentum come back from that. But the thing that is obviously giving us a bit more confidence that price can break to the upside is obviously that we're holding onto this daily resistance, daily support, sorry. I keep saying resistance, but I mean support. So we're holding to this daily support. So and we just got a bullish engulfing there on the daily as well. So if you can see price break that consolidation 4H, pull back, then you've got daily aligning with your bias as well. And then yeah, take some buys into those levels there. If we break to the downside, things get very choppy at that point because then we're coming back into the daily support. Again, maybe there will be some buys to the upside, something like this. Other than that, I'll probably just leave price alone and wait for it to develop. But yeah, we have hit a very key area, so I'm expecting to see some type of bounce there for USD CHF. Pound AUD, I'll get into that one next. And then I'll go, I'll do a breakdown on gold for my trade position. No problem, probably happy to I'll start checking my 4H more often. Yeah, 4H is a there's a huge bike outside, hopefully that will come into the mic. But yeah, 4H is actually a very good candle closure to use. It's kind of like you got a daily candle closure, which is very powerful, which is good to represent what happened today and what potentially could happen tomorrow. 4H is good to see what's happened like the first half of the day, especially when I wake up in the UK. I get the 10 a.m. candle closure, which is good because from those previous candles, from the 2 a.m., the 6 a.m. and the 10 a.m. gives a good bias of what price could do the following day unless you see some consolidation. So yeah, 4H candles are very good, and then obviously you can just trade that momentum on the retracement on the lower time frames as well. But yeah, keep an eye and don't if there's like an hourly candle, like a big hourly candle that breaks out, don't treat that as the breakout just yet. Wait for the 4H. That'll confirm it a little bit better because you can see all these wicks here. The market could just print another wick to the upside, so make sure you do wait for the 4H candle to confirm the breakout. Okay, so pound AUD. So yeah, pound AUD for this one, we're pushing to the upside. We're breaking through these highs. It looks like pound AUD could see a bit more upside. I was buying this one last week, sorry. And unfortunately did end up with a loss on that one. It was a partial loss, not a full loss, because I did bank some nice partials there. So I only lost about 0.5R on it. But still lost at the end of the day. But again, the direction is again sort of right for this one. I did kind of enter the trade too early, entered it around there, stop loss over there, and I was looking for the market to retrace a lot more. Came into this area a couple of times, I secured some profit once, and then I secured some profit again when price gave a nice reaction, and then trickled down and broke through the support. But then after a while, as you can see, price is now back bullish again. So basically, I'm just treating this as price having a bit of a fake out to the downside, really, to maybe take liquidity below this point here, and then move to the upside. But as you can see, we've got some equal lows here from pound AUD. We formed this high, formed the equal lows, broke structure to the upside, formed a higher high, another pullback, formed a higher low in relation to those lows back here, and now we've just taken out that structure and formed a higher high. So for me, for pound AUD, price is slowly not turning bullish, because I still believe pound AUD is heading down long term, but looking like it could start to give a bit of a bigger correction into the daily levels I was talking about. So if we go to the daily time frame, I was talking about price coming back into this level area here at 1.73, broken support, will be term resistance. This could be a great little place where we could form a lower high and roll back over. So that could be where price is working its way towards. So buys to that area could be looking good, and then when we get there, sells back down again is what I'll be looking for. But yeah, buys for me look good for pound AUD, but you want price to either retest this level here, which you've just broken through right now, retest that and then buy, or pull back into this area and then buy. Either which way, next day or two, I'm seeing buys for pound AUD back up to 1.73, either from this level, 1.71150, or 1.70 300, we'll call it. So either one of those two levels look great for buys, in my opinion. And yeah, just need to wait for a pullback. Price might just continue to fly. That is obviously a possibility. If that's the case, let it fly. It's not our position. But if price can pull back to one of those two areas, monitor price action on the hourly time frame or 30-minute or whatever time frame you look to enter the market on. And then yeah, pull back into one of these areas. Obviously, this area will maximize your risk to reward, but you know we've got to consider this level here, very very important level, which you broke with some momentum here. Nice strong 4H candle closure above as well, so that is looking good. So yeah, for me, pound AUD, more upside for this one. USD CAD, AUD CAD, no problem. Good tip was watching the hourly. Yeah, that's definitely. I feel like a lot of people do get caught on the wrong side sometimes of breakouts, mainly because you're looking at the lower time frames. Because remember, on the high time frames, you know, wicks that form on those candles, and by higher time frames I mean like 4H or daily. Those wicks that form on the 4H and on the daily are moves on the lower time frames that are just fake moves, really. That's what I kind of deem a wick to be. It's a fake move from the candle. Price tried to move there, couldn't, reject it, pull back, and then close. So a lot of the time when you're seeing a lot of wicks develop on the time frame like this, so this is the hourly time frame, those wicks to the upside are big moves on like the 50-minute or the 5-minute. But because we pull back each time, it's saying that price can't go that way. So if price wants the breakout, we want to wait for the hourly close to give us the breakout. For this time frame, not like the 50-minute or the 5-minute. On USDCHF, I was using the 4H time frame to draw the range. So for this one, I want to see a 4H close, break out of that. So you know, if you're going to draw consolidation on a particular time frame, wait for that candle on that particular time frame to break out. Don't drop to like lower time frames to see if you can catch the breakout slightly earlier, because most of the time those are just the false breakouts. You know, once you've seen that candle closure on that particular time frame, so for this one, once you've seen the 4H candle closure above, then you can drop to the 50-minute or whatever time frame you want to drop to, and then trade that retracement and the retest. That's fine, but to consider the actual breakout, wait for the higher time frame candle to close, and that will give you a much higher probability that will be the actual breakout. Not 100%, because anything can happen and nothing's 100%, but it will just increase probability so much more in your favor. But yeah, so gold, I'm actually long on gold, looking for a push all the way up to these highs potentially, because I can see gold pushing into 1760, and that's where I'm actually starting to plan out some long-term sales for this one, because I do think we will eventually break through this weekly level of support here. Very, very strong level, but I do see us breaking through this. So eventually I do think gold's going to reverse, but at the time right now, price is still rejecting this area very, very well, and we've just dropped onto 1700, banged our head into 1700 a lot. Key psychological level, a lot of wicks into that, so I'm actually long on this one, but it's for a short-term trade. And again, short-term trade, it could still take 2 or 3 days to play out, which in some of your books that might not be short-term, but for me, because I do have the longer-term bias in my head, it's shorter than that, so that's why I call it short-term. But yeah, I'm expecting to push the upside for gold. That's my main first TP, but I'll see what happens with this one. If you just blast straight through, then I'll ignore it, but if you start throwing some wicks into that level, if you get there, I'll probably close some profit, maybe go break even, see what happens. But I'm looking at a push to the upside. Price is obviously from the low down here, nice little high up there, low, and then from the new high up there. Broke through these lows here, but this is the main low in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it is the main low, because price from the low there, higher low. These are just smaller pullbacks in this bullish leg, and then we had this big strong move to the downside. Price failed to continue back down again, respecting that support there along with 1700. Nice candlestick entry. I wait for the 4H to close. Nice wick into that support. Stop loss, a lot of room to the downside just in case we want to spike through or something again. And yeah, looking for a push back to those highs. So that's what I'm currently trading right now for gold. A few other pairs I'm looking at. Geez, it just popped off there. Damn. You guys do not mess around, do you? I really need to... Oh, it's actually multiple. I really need to find out how to block that, because I don't know how to block it. My apologies, by the way. My apologies. I think that just came crazy. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm trading gold. Okay, so USD CAD, AUD CAD, we'll take a look. Hey MMT Trading, how are you? I'm doing good. What do you think of CTF Can we see another push, or are we going to a deeper pullback? Yeah, we'll have a look. See, no problem. Just did gold there, Kojo Forex. Hopefully that made sense. I was looking to trade pound AUD, but it just flew through that area. Didn't give any signal. Yeah, I mean that's sometimes going to happen. Price is going to fly and break through areas and not give you any signal. Sometimes it'll give you a signal slightly before. You know, it's the market. It's not perfect. But yeah, pound AUD does look good for some moves to the upside still. So a retrace into one of those areas, I would still favor pound AUD to fly again. But yeah, for me, it needs some time to develop a little bit. But pull back into one of those areas, confirmation, buys look good. Actually, I'll probably be waiting to see what happens at those levels. Maybe later do we actually know we got some pound news tomorrow, don't we? Is it tomorrow or is it Friday? Let me go double check actually. I'm pretty sure we got some pound news. I'll take a look at those pairs in a second, guys. Do not worry. Okay, AUD, so that's later tonight. Not trading AUD currently. Okay, dollar tomorrow at 130. Jobless claims. I'm not expecting too much from that, but I am trading dollar, so I'll take that with a pinch of salt. Okay, so we don't have pound. I thought we did. What are the interest rates for pound? Okay, so it's not this week. False alarm. We do have pound on Friday, but it's not the interest rates that I thought would happen. Okay, so yeah, USD CAD, AUD CAD. We'll take a look and CTF JPY as well. Okay, so you can block. Yeah, I don't know how I can block, because when I'm clicking on the messages, it doesn't come up with an option to block. I think I have to block like on my actual like channel. Like I have to go back into my channel and block somehow, because when I click on the messages, it just has like hide user. It doesn't say block. It says report as well, which doesn't do anything because I've done that a million times. But yeah, just ignore it for now. Okay, so yeah, USD CAD, we'll get into that one. So USD CAD, like I said, coming into those highs, we could see some retracement. Again, long-term bias, I still do expect USD CAD to push higher and take out those highs on the left over here at 1.32246. So I do expect those highs to go, especially after now that we snap back above that resistance, but we might pull back into one of these two areas before pushing higher for USD CAD. So I said pull back into one of these two areas, and then we can look for some longs. Obviously right now coming to resistance, we've got one stab there, rejection, second stab there, rejection, third stab, could reject back down again. So sells, you can look for sells, a little bit aggressive of course with the higher time frames, but we are on daily resistance, so it does make sense. I still expect USD CAD to go higher, so this is why I'm favoring the buys there, but obviously you can maybe look to take advantage of the sells first of all, a little bit more aggressive, but I would expect price to be traced anyway. And then 1.31 and 1.305 is where I would look for longs to push it higher again. But yeah, for me, USD CAD, some retracement looks likely. And yeah, 1.31, 1.305. So if you want to take a bunch of the sells, feel free. It does look good. Just at the buys, you got a bit more confidence in your favor. AUD CAD, so yeah, AUD CAD, I was looking at selling this guy yesterday, and this one again tanked to the upside. You can see still making higher highs and higher lows, then big candle to the downside. That was a very good whistle as well. I'm not really good at whistling, but that was good. And then yeah, tanked to the downside, and no real entry to get involved. It did hit this area here, so beautiful break and retest, but just no entry to actually trade the pair, unfortunately. Again, nothing's really changed too much with me with AUD CAD. I'm still looking for price to come back down to those lows. Still looking at potentially this being the next lower high, and then another drive back down to lows and maybe some new lows as well. Again, for this one, I want price to retrace. So 2 areas of interest for retracements, number 1 and number 2. One of those 2 areas is where I would be looking for confirmations to sell. Obviously, I don't really want to sell at these lows here. So if I can see something like this for 80 CAD, that would be nice. And something like that. Either one of those 2 opportunities at 0.89, 0.8250. One of those 2 levels there is where I would short 80 CAD. But in terms of bias, everything, price is still making lower lows and lower highs. So nothing's really changed from that perspective. So I still expect price to roll over and see some more downside. But of course, want retracement there before I entertain any of that ideas. And CHF I'll take a look at that one. No problem. Pound USD about TED. Okay, I'll go take a look at Pound USD. As you get more famous, this happens. I'm going to see you say, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I mean, more people that will tune to the stream, there'll definitely be more of that. So I definitely need to find a way to actually sort that out, because it's probably going to happen a lot more, which is not what I want, because then I can't read your comments and all I'm seeing is, you know, silly messages. So yeah, I definitely need to sort out that. So yeah, I'll go to CTFJ while I'll take a look at Pound USD. This is trading channel, not dating. 110. I mean, there is no dating here unless you're you know, getting intimate with the charts, which is, you know, fair play, but there is no dating here. Okay, CHF JPY. Okay, seeing some downside again. A lot of JPY pairs, we've seen some nice downside. Again, this one actually tested the area that we're looking for on the monthly, because like I said, for this one, it's ridiculous. It's still flying to the upside. Actually not monthly, I was on the quarterly chart. That's how high I had to go actually to get a good level for this one. So I was talking about price expecting to eventually take out those all-time highs at 158.530. That's where long term I expect price to go. But we got the start of the level there at the candlestick body, which is at 157.52. So I was looking to see if you can get a reaction from that and see some downside. Long term, I expect us to go and take that out, but we could do something like this first, another high low, and then do it, or we could just rally. One of the 2 options, but most likely those highs will eventually go. But yeah, we've just about tapped into this level here, hence why we've got the reaction. Let me just tidy it up a little bit. Hence why we've got the reaction, as you can see. So we just about kissed it, and we're seeing some downside. So yeah, with CHF JPY, it's still very, very bullish, and I'll probably still favor buys. So coming into this area here, which is 148.800, I would still expect to see some upside. I wouldn't hold on for the trade for too long, because we are a little bit exhausted right now. But a push, you know, back into this consolidation here, or even a push back into this consolidation here, a lot of consolidation would look good, in my opinion, from a day trading perspective. So 30-minute chart, hourly chart, buys into one of these 2 areas looks good. Target 1, target 2. And then maybe from there we might go and break through some structure and reverse. So to answer your question, CHF JPY, I do think we can see a deeper pullback. Now we're banging our heads on this level. I do think we can see a deeper pullback, but it hasn't yet happened. We've seen a nice move to downside, very impulsive bearish move. But again, don't be fooled. Structure's still in place here. And if you can hold until, you know, this level here, I would expect price to go bullish again. And this level I got around 148.600. So from there, buys into the first level and then second level. And then maybe we might go and break structure and get that deeper retracement. But until I see structure break, I would expect another rally to the upside. So I'm still treating this as retracement and expecting a push up again. Pound USD. So yeah, for this one, like I said, retest of that, see some upside. Nothing's really happened since the candle closed, which is almost 30 minutes ago now, or actually 30 minutes ago actually. So yeah, nothing's really happened for Pound USD. Retracement there and buys is what I said. And target 1 is up there, which is not too far away, but it has to be because of the way price is moving on the higher time frames. We don't want to be too overly confident with these long predictions, because time and time again you'll see the market just roll over and follow the higher time frames, which is ideally the direction you want to be trading in. And if you are looking to go against that, you want to be taking your profits a lot sooner than you normally would do, just to be safe, of course. But yeah, buys into this level looks good. Obviously, right now, if we pushed up, you want price to retrace. So if it just continues up and you're not already in the trade, let it be. If it can retrace, fantastic, retest that level. And then, yeah, take advantage of a push to the upside. And then second target, 1.16800 looks good as well. And again, either one of these levels could provide the next low high for price to roll over if the daily trend does continue. So do keep that in the back of your mind. USD JPY will take a look. Potentially sell at 142.58. Okay, we'll have a look. See. What was your favorite confirmation? Excuse me. What was your favorite confirmation to take a trade after? Retest, just a bullish engulfing, Julia, 2018. Bullish engulfing. Candlestick patterns is how I enter all my trades, and my most traded candlestick pattern is a bullish engulfing. Probably 80 or 90% of the confirmation I take are bullish engulfing candles at key areas. So yeah, when I see a bullish engulfing, that's my entry confirmation. S&P, I'll take a look at S&P, then we take a look at USJPY first, and I'll get into S&P and EuroJPY, no problem. Hey, what's up, Johnny Rowe? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Any pairs you're looking at? Euro pound bounced off from 0.7 resistance level. Do you think it could start dropping from there? Okay, I'll take a look at Euro pound as well. Can I share DXY chart? I'm not too sure if you can share. You can leave the link in the chat if you want, but last time people tried to share the chart, it didn't really come through, so I'm not too sure if that's changed, but you can if you want to. Okay, so completely forgot what pair I was about to take a look at there. Yeah, USJPY, then S&P and EuroJPY. Okay, so USJPY, you said some sells, if I remember correctly. Okay, couldn't find it for a second. Oh, that's gold. Okay, so USJPY. Okay, so where do you say from 142.58, 142.58? Okay, that's literally where price is right now. Okay, so this is lower time frames then. This is like 5 minute probably. 7 pip TP, so yeah, it's got to be lower time frames. So 142.58, 142.58. So okay, is that your target then? Because obviously we haven't hit that yet. Okay, so you're in the trade. Okay, so yeah, we could pull back into that area, because I suspect you're probably talking about this level here maybe. Actually no, that's 142.829.58 would be this area here. So again, an area of value, yes, but this is definitely an area that you want to watch out for, because even though we've had this huge move to the upside and prices spilled over, you know, we could bounce and go bullish from this level here and push up again, because obviously higher time frames are still bullish. You know, price could just print a nice little double bottom here, push, breaking through structure, higher low, and then go bullish. So, you know, we do have to watch out for that case scenario, because that definitely could happen. But the first area of value I've got here is 142.832, which you might want to watch out for. Of course, trade your plan and trade, you know, whatever you're looking to trade. But just from my, you know, looking in, my 2 pence, this level here is definitely a level to watch out for, especially if you've got your target below that. Maybe you're looking at taking partial or something, but yeah, do watch out for that level. But it looks good because obviously momentum has failed. We've broken through that structure, so I would expect us to roll over, but we could go bullish from one of those 2 levels there. Okay, S&P, I'll take a look at EuroJPY as well. Starting my 50k count challenge, what is your tips on that? Tips on that, I would say make sure, well, if you've already, you know, bought the challenge, then you just got to be be confident and wait for the quality setups to form, because I don't know, you just probably got what, 30 days to do the challenge maybe. So you know, you want to be focusing on quality setup and try not to, because I don't know, I think I read somewhere, I'm not sure with which firm it is with, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people at the start of the challenges go crazy because they're trying to make the 10%, you know, as fast as possible. You know, try and make the 10% over the 30-day period. You don't have to do 5% in your first week. Obviously, it's great if you do 5% in the first week, because that means the rest of the time, you know, you can relax and just focus on the best opportunities. But, you know, 30 days is a long time. Wait for the setups to come to you. If you've got a good routine, you're already into that, just keep that routine going, because obviously whatever you've done in the past, if you've made, you know, 10% before, all you need to do is repeat that again. Obviously this time there's a slight added pressure from a psychological perspective, but you know, theoretically that shouldn't really change anything with your actual ability to trade and your routine and your consistency, really. So it's more of a psychological battle with this challenge, because there's obviously pressure added towards it. So you need to make sure, just do whatever you're doing before and just do it again in the live conditions with the pressure with the added pressure, and just focus on the high quality setups, and make sure that you give yourself time. You know, you don't need to go straight away in first day 5%. You know, give yourself some room to work with, because a lot of people want to pass it very, very quickly, and then they show it on social media, which is great and all, but a lot of people would have lost their challenges doing it like that as well. And you don't really need to do that. As long as you pass, you know, you've done your objective, really. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. But I'll take a look at S&P now. So again, another indice which is absolutely tanked. So as you can see, it did come into that area, it did spike through it, to be fair. Again, two areas that I gave out for these markets. I said number 1 and number 2, they all broke through the first area. They all did break through this one. US 30 broke through, didn't quite hit the second area. US 100 broke through, did hit this hit that area there. So they all did break through the first one, but the second one did come in clutch. This one did spike through quite nasty, to be fair. So again, difficult to catch the trade really anyway. But yeah, everything is still quite bearish with this one. But of course, we are coming into these lows here, where prior we did see a nice reaction to the upside, as you can see. So we don't really want to be selling into this. We want price to retrace for us, and then we can catch the next wave to the downside, rather than selling directly into these areas. So kind of same sort of thing with the other indices as well. We've seen great moves to the downside, but now we want to see some retracement to catch the next wave. You know, we don't want to be selling at the end of that. It doesn't make too much sense. So again, similar price action, consolidation. We broke into the upside now. A little retest of that, could see a pullback into this sort of area, which again could give us the next lower high, or maybe even better, push up into 40, 50 up into there, and then we can get the next lower high from that. So even on these areas will look good for the next lower high to form, and it'll give you some distance as well from the support, where you can start to take profit off if you're not directly selling into support or into the lows. So yeah, for me, for US 500, S&P 500, I expect price to continue down. But we want price to have a bit of relief first, you know, see some upside, and give us some retracement, and then we can look to set it back down again, and obviously continue that momentum. But as of right now, you know, you don't really want to be selling into these lows. Obviously, if you're doing a quick scalp, then sure thing, but if you're looking to play out the trade and take advantage of the next move, the next swing, you want price to retrace. So if it does just go and break through that, cool, wait for the break and retest. But from where we're trading right now, it doesn't make sense to sell into that. So yeah, if you want to really push the trade, buys from this consolidation on the retest, which is around 39.45, and then push into that consolidation, and we can start monitoring price action there for some sells, or up there as well for some sells, which is a nice little daily region. And then take it down after that. So hopefully that made sense there. Euro JPY, I'll take a look. I'm doing good, Khan. I'm doing good, Khan trading. Euro pound, yeah, sure. I'll take a look at that one. Euro pound as well. Yeah, 142.85 was the bounce back earlier. Testing again now. Okay. Yeah, as long as you're managing the trade, you should be fine. Bitcoin, we'll take a look. No problem. No problem, Khan. S&P, yeah, I just did S&P there, so hopefully that made sense. If not, let me know. But I'll take a look at Euro Yen and then I'll move on to Euro Pound. Okay, Euro Yen, there you are. Okay, so Euro Yen, seen some downside. Again, a lot of the yen pairs have seen some downside. We're obviously trading at those highs there, as you can see, so prices at a very strong resistance. Again, the overall trend for this one is still very much the upside, but we could be looking at some retracement first before we do pop bullish. Again, the two daily areas that stand out to me for price to retrace into before going bullish. We've got one level here, 41,574, and also the 139,400. So one of those two levels is where I'm actually looking for the daily to come into and then fly again. Don't necessarily have to, but it will be good pullbacks if we do. One of these two levels would be a great place to find the next higher low and buy the market back up again. Right now, if I go into the hourly time frame, we've seen some nice downside. We broke that consolidation. This is our higher low down there, and price is kind of in a little bit of an awkward place, really. It's not really at anywhere valuable. It would be nice if price was stopping at this level, but we kind of broke through a little bit. So it'd be nice if we were holding to that level, catch a nice little bounce to the upside. But like I said, we broke through. We also broke through the consolidation here. It'd be nice to get a retest of that level and then roll back over. So Euro Yen for me could be forming another higher low here. Not the best place to buy. If we close back above, maybe that can give us some nice buys in the retest in the lower time frames. But what I'd expect next for Euro Yen is a push back up into that level, and then we could form a lower high and sell off, and then get that retracement I'm talking about on the higher time frames back down to 142. That could be a possibility, or we could fly again and just see the next higher high. So yeah, monitor price action here. We want price to get back above this level first, and then we can look to buy off that. You can see the previous candle there, big wick to the upside, not a good sign. Want price to close back above to show that price is now back above that trading level. And then yeah, buys into 144, 186 looks good. And then that could start the new higher high, could start a new bullish leg, or we could, like I said, sell off one more time and then get the bigger buys from a daily level. So yeah, I need a bit more development for this one to actually map out the next kind of big swing I expect next from it. I still expect overall price to go up, but we may retrace deeper first before that happens. But yeah, from an intraday perspective, get above that level, buys will look good, and this is definitely will have to be your first target because we could sell off, break above, we could form the new highs potentially, but we do want price to get back above that level, which is at 143,300. So hopefully that made sense on that one. Euro pound I'll take a look at, and I'll move into Bitcoin. No problem, John. Happy to help. Can you look at your JPY on the daily? It's at resistance. What do you think? Okay, I'm on it now, right now. So I'll tell you. So yeah, it is at resistance, 110%. Back at these highs here. The structure of the market is still pretty bullish. So if you're going to look for sell from here, again, some nice wick rejections there, as you can see, 1 and 2. So very, very nice. I'll wait for the daily candle closure first of all. If you can get a nice bearish engulfing, that would be a nice candlestick pattern, which is in 10 hours and 15 minutes. So do have to wait, obviously, that period of time. But if you can get a nice bearish candlestick closure, you can probably catch some shells, but from a short-term perspective, from a daily chart. So maybe 2 or 3 candles to the downside, because long-term, I still expect Euro Yen to push to the upside. From a daily perspective, I'm still looking at 148 up here to these monthly highs up there on the left. So that's what I expect Euro Yen to head towards. So I'm still expecting price to go up, but you're definitely right. Price is at resistance. We could see some short-term sells into this area here, and then price could go bullish, or maybe short-term sells into this area here, and then price goes bullish after that level. So wait for the daily candle to close. Still got 10 hours at the end of the day. And then if it closes with a nice bearish engulfing candle, you can probably sell it. But again, you don't want to hold on the trade for too long. Like I said, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 daily candlesticks into this area or that area. And then I think the buys are the best bet, really. So you want to get out those sells and start looking for that next higher low to take advantage of some longs, really. So yeah, sells were at resistance 100%, but the length of the trade, how far I expect it to go, I don't expect it to go too far, based on the high time frame analysis. So yeah, 100%, great place to sell it, but I don't expect it to go too far. I expect it to form a higher low and then push bullish again. But of course, do wait for that daily candle closure, because this candle could even flip bullish in 10 hours time, if we do see some strong momentum in the market during New York or something. So make sure you wait for daily candle to close to confirm it. Okay, I'll get into Euro Pound. USDs are, of course, live. Will take a look, no problem. Very simple to understand with you, very less lines, good to understand, no problem. Love from India, big up, Vikram. Okay, so yeah, Euro Pound. So yeah, with this one, Euro Pound, obviously we're back at these highs here on the left. We just about spiked through those highs, so we could see some retracement coming into this area of resistance here. So we want structure to break on the lower time frames to confirm that we're coming down. So like I said earlier here, you can see the price in a bit of a range here. Key support there at 0.86550, very key support. If you're looking to get involved with Euro Pound, sales are looking good because you've just hit that daily resistance there. A break of this support will make a lot of sense. Pull back there, retest, and then from that you can find some sells. Obviously, you don't want to sell it into the level. Wait for price to break through it first. Retest, and then you can sell it back down. And targets I'll be looking at is this low here, first target, and this low here, second target. So target 1, target 2. If we can get those sells. If we don't break through the level, that means that the market is still bullish and all this momentum is still alive in the market. We'll wait for it to break through this resistance here. Reason being, this was our last lower high and the market rolled over. Break through that resistance, retest it, and then we might actually see another swing to the upside and see the higher time frames continue. So from a buyer's perspective, you want price to break through this level here, 0.86850. If you're looking for sells, which is still looking pretty good, obviously you want price to break through the support first before looking to sell it. But if we can break through that support, retest it, you can see some nice downside there, and you can see potential head and shoulder pattern lining up for us there, with obviously this level being the neckline of the pattern. So yeah, Euro Pound sells look good, but you want it to break through that support before doing anything. And I'll take a look at Bitcoin as well. But hopefully that was as helpful. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to leave a like on the channel and subscribe as well. And if you want to check out my Telegram, where I post my trades, my setups, my watch list for the week as well, so feel free to check that out. Links in the description to my Telegram, also at the top of the chat. If you want to scroll all the way to the top, there's a link there too. And I do have an affiliate link to IC Markets, which is the broker I'm currently using. Feel free to check out that broker if you want to. But yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, subscribe and leave a like. Okay, where is Bitcoin? There you are. Okay, Bitcoin again, downside move, as expected from the dollar strength. All the commodities, anything against the dollar really, fell. And now coming to some interesting areas. Again, Bitcoin for me is a bit of a range now, to be fair. So price action is not really looking the best anymore, and price is kind of just building up. It's doing one of those build up sessions really. Well, price build up there, tank to the downside, build up there, big tank to the downside, price build up there, tank to the downside, build up there, big move to the upside. So it's in one of these phases here right now where a big move could eventually form. Whether it's down or up, we'll probably see closer to the time. But right now for me, Bitcoin is just very, very messy right now. Obviously, still trading at key support 20k, big psychological support as well. Price is coming back into the consolidation here, so we could see a move to the upside from this area if price can hold it. I mean, right now all I'm seeing is some more consolidation on the hourly. So if you can break through this retest, probably see some upside again, maybe into some of these levels here on the left, maybe to that level there at best. Hey, thank you so much, Joshua, for subscribing. So that's what I'll probably be looking at for Bitcoin, but the chance we could just break to the downside. And if that's the point, you just want to leave it alone, because again, you don't really want to be looking for sells in this area. Coming back to some support, back into that consolidation. Don't really want to be selling it into that area anymore, especially after that huge move we had to the downside. You want price to be traced, form a lower high, and then from there we can start looking for selling opportunities. But from what I can see right now, Bitcoin's a nice place where it could rebound and see some upside coming into this area, to be a bit more precise. So again, break above that consolidation on the hourly, and then from there buyers will make a lot more sense. Just clean the highs out at 24.78. Buys above that will make a lot more sense. If not, we just continue to stay in this area. Let price be, let price do whatever it wants. After that, there's not a lot to do with Bitcoin. It's running out of momentum, and there's no real trade for us to take really. So yeah, I'll leave Bitcoin alone there. But break above, probably catch some nice trades to the upside. No problem, Easy Bliss, happy to help. Please pound USD again, no problem, Josh. Okay, so yeah, pound USD for this one, I said some short-term buys to the upside look good, because again, higher time frames were coming in. We've also got this channel here, price is now at the lows of the channel here, and obviously on the weekly time frame, we just come into the lows here, we've just spiked through those lows. So expecting to see some type of bounce to the upside for pound, nothing too crazy because higher time frames are still very, very bearish. And the overall direction for pound USD is still very much to the downside. So short-term buys definitely until structure breaks. But what I'm expecting for pound USD is a move to the upside back into the resistance here. Then maybe if we're lucky, back into this resistance here, 1.168. And the reason why I said if we're lucky is because everything is still pretty bearish for pound USD. So the upside move I'm talking about now is still treating as retracement, and we might just form a lower high here and roll over. But if we're lucky, we can catch a push to this high and then roll over. So a few more extra pips is what I'm talking about. But yeah, pound USD for me, breaking retest of that level there looks good for a push into that high at 1.16, which lines up with the psychological level of 1.16. And then yeah, if you can break through that 1.168, which is that level there as well. But ideally, you do want price to come back and retest it. Okay. What is your strategy? Strategy is pure price action, really. Market structures may see what I'm focusing on. What winning rate and risk to reward do you most often have, and what percentage gain do you make in a normal week of risking 1%? Well, my winning rate fluctuates between 50 and 60%. So some months it might be 60% or a little bit over. Months where it's a little bit more difficult in the market, maybe around the 50% mark. But my typical risk to reward is a 1 to 3. I'm looking to see if I can increase that to a 1 to 4 maybe, or close to 1 to 5. And maybe take some less trades and start to maximize the rewards a little bit better. So I take less trades, but I'm still getting the similar reward back. But 1 to 3 is probably my average. But it's not like a set risk to reward, so it's not like it has to be 1 to 3. Sometimes we 1 to 2, 1.2.5, 1 to 3.5. So on average, it's probably around 1 to 3. Why not trade on time frame below? I just prefer hourly time frame and above. To be fair, there's so much opportunities in the market, so many opportunities to trade. There's an abundance of opportunities. You don't need to trade every single thing. On the hourly time frame, at the pairs I look at, I get a watch list of around 5 pairs every week. and I get more than enough opportunities to take some good quality trades. So I don't necessarily need to go lower than the hourly time frame to find opportunities. So that's one reason. And number two, I'm not really a big fan of the fast paced. I kind of like things a little bit slower. I'm a little bit more calculated with my trading. So I kind of like things to develop, and then I take the trade and I wait for the trade to play out, rather than fast paced, analyze on the same day, take the trade and be done. It's more to do with preference, really. I'm not saying the low time frames are bad. Low time frames are good if you can trade them, of course. So yeah, that's not really my cup of tea, but I prefer hourly, 4H, daily. Maybe in the future I might go 30-minute or 50-minute if I focus on maybe like one or two pairs, which I could go into, but at the moment hourly's looking good. Anthony CAD, sure thing, we'll take a look at that. No problem, Josh, happy to help. USDZAR, yeah, I've completely forgot about that one. Let me go into USDZAR. I joined Signal Live. You talking about you joined the live stream? Welcome if you joined the live stream. Welcome. Or you talking about you joined my Telegram channel? What do you make in a week or in a month % gain? Well, I look to aim for 10%, so anywhere around there. Sometimes a little bit higher, sometimes a little bit less. I don't really have a goal for a week. I don't really believe in, well, if you're a bit more of a scalper, then maybe, but for my type of style, I don't really give myself weekly goals. It doesn't really make too much sense. Some weeks you could do very, very well and they can make the whole month. Some weeks you could do bad and then the next few weeks make the week up. So I don't really give myself a week time frame to base results on. It's too short for me. But month, I always aim for 10%. And that's for 1% risk. Pound yen, I'll get into that as well. Hey King City, welcome to the stream. Good thing I closed before the news yesterday. Yeah, price absolutely collapsed. Big time on the indices and any dollar pair related. Obviously USD CAD and USD CHF went up, but anything against the dollar, yeah, took a huge hit. But I'll take a look at USD ZAR because I said I was going to look at that one, but I did miss that one out. I don't have to search it on my thing. So apologies there. And I'll also take a look at, what was the other pair I was supposed to look at? US 30. Okay, I'll take a look at US 30 and pound yen and I'll end it on that because I'll come to the end of the stream. Do you have fund accounts? Do you have trades over days, and how do you handle red news? I don't trade in fund accounts. I trade with my personal capital. Do you have trades over days? Do you mean do I hold trades over long the day? Yes, I do. Probably average maybe 3 to 5 days. I hold them for a trade, 3-4 days. Some trades can be a lot longer, like my AUD trade I was in last week, which I exited. I was probably in there for about a week and maybe 4 days. So sometimes it does go on. To be fair, I don't really give myself a limit. It's just whatever it takes to get to my target. If it takes 2 days, then great. If it takes a week and 3 days, then it takes a week and 3 days. USD ZAR, okay, so USD ZAR, big moves to the upside, of course, with the dollar news. Again, this one's still pretty bullish on. I still do think USD ZAR is going to make its way eventually up to these highs here, 17.623. That's where I do see USD ZAR heading towards long term. So that's where I typically want to trade the market to. It's actually not too far away, to be fair, from where it is right now. So USD ZAR, I would say for this one, retracement to this area would look very, very good, or even this area here as well. Retracement, something like this, and then buys from that will make a lot of sense. Or even, a push into there, 17.15 will make a lot of sense as well. So yeah, sells aggressive, but they're there. Most likely you'll be taking advantage of the retracement. The buys are the best bet following the higher time frames where price would potentially could go. That's what I expect price to head for USD ZAR. So 17.25 and 17.1. And yeah, handle news, I completely forgot that part of the question. yeah, I tend to not trade when news is coming out. So for like CPI yesterday, I was always going to give myself a good half an hour before I looked at the markets again, wait for price to settle, and then I look at the market. So I don't trade, kind of when the news is coming out, maybe an hour or two before, if I'm not already in a trade, or an hour at least after the news. So that kind of time period I don't trade. But typically, if I'm in a trade and news is coming out, and if I've got a good profit, or if I'm break even, or even if I'm not in break even, to be fair, I'll still sit through the news, because with swing trading, it's hard to miss out on news. You tend to overlap on news from time to time, and you end up closing trades, which sometimes the news actually takes in your direction as well. So yeah, with news, if I'm already in a trade, I'll sit through it. Whatever happens, really. But if there's news about to come out, I wouldn't take a trade until at least an hour after and things have settled down. Pound yen for this one, again, still bullish, looking for price to come to take out those highs then the left eventually. So that's what I'm working towards for pound yen. But like I said earlier, no real trade for me for this one. We did get above this area, so we are pushing to the upside from that. So I did say 166 would look good, but ideally I'd like to find some buys a little bit deeper back down. So pound yen, I do expect buys eventually back to those highs here, but we could maybe tank one more time first, and then get the bigger push. So if you can come back down to 164, 400, that will look good. I'm not really seeing much here for pound yen at the moment. If you are on buys, do watch out for this area, because price could roll over from that. But like I said, I'm still over bullish on pound yen. In fact, if we can get above 166, which is this resistance here on the 4H, get above that, buys above that would make a lot more sense to me from the next higher low, and then push up. That'll look like a good trade there, back up to 168, 760, but we have to wait for that to develop. And US 30, last but not least for this one as well, price is very, very bearish coming into those lows, but again, we wouldn't really want to sell this. We've already had the big move. We want price to retrace at least, or break through, either one if you're looking to sell. If anything, we could see some nice buys for this one, which is what I was talking about earlier with the consolidation. Wait for the retest, wait for confirmation, and then push into this area. And this is where we could actually look to sell off from 31,600, but here is not really a sell zone for me anyway. So yeah, upside for US 30 into one of those areas. Look for some sales to come back down, and then we can take advantage of that. But at the moment, if you're really looking to trade this one, slightly aggressive trade, but it does make sense. Break and retest at the consolidation, wait for confirmation, and buys into that area up there look good. And NZD CAD, I did forgot to get that. I'll go through that very, very quickly. So yeah, NZD CAD, I was talking about a break and retest above that high there, and a push into that level. That's the only thing I'm really looking at NZD CAD, because sells don't look too good as to where we are right now. Yeah, I mean, you could take the sells, but I thank you so much, Audio Sound, for subscribing. It's just not in an area that I would like to take it at, because we're trading right at these lows here, typically, and we're very, very corrective as well. So yes, the break and retest is on, but I wouldn't really look to trade that, because number one, its price is very, very exhausted, and number two, these are very exposed lows, if you will. Where price can wick through and pull back at certain levels here. Ideally, if you're looking to sell the market, I'd wait for it to get here and then get the sell. That way you can manage your trade a little bit better, take some profit, stop loss to break even. So even if something like this does happen for NZD CAD, you can manage that and still take profits from that, even if price does fall over. Thank you so much, Nutch, for subscribing. But yeah, NZD CAD for me, break and retest above that, buys to that looks good. If you are looking to sells, it does make sense on the break and retest, but with the way it's moving, I would stay away personally. But of course, if that's your plan, do your thing 100%, but not really one for me there. So yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the stream, so I will be wrapping up now. Is it advisable to hold until Asian session or during Asian session? Depends. If you have a longer term bias, so if you have a bias for like a day or two or 3 days or for the week, then yeah, sure. But if you're a bit of a day trader, then you probably want to take your trade once the session is done, London, New York, wherever you're trading. You don't really want to hold trades over the day, because then you could see tomorrow's momentum pull back against you, maybe pull back into your entry, and you can lose your profits from that day. So if you're a bit more of a swing trader, 100%, there's nothing wrong with holding Asian session. I hold through Asian session as well, but you need to have an analysis for more than just the day ahead. So if you got analysis for 2-3 days, higher time frames, that's good, because then you've got a plan to trade with. But if you just want to push trades from a day trading perspective, you probably just want to take your profit and move on. Do you post your trades here? Well, yeah, I do share my trades here 100%. I do have a Telegram channel, and that's what you're talking about, where I do share my setups and post it on the Telegram channel, which is in the description below. I only stream these 2 hours here, kind of the end of London session. Thank you so much. Please, what's your opinion on day trading? Yeah, day trading is good. Every type of trading is good. If it fits the way you trade, then it's good, 100%. I'm a bit more of I'd say a bit more of a swing trader, but I'm not quite swing. Like, I don't hold for multiple weeks, so I'm a bit more of an intra-week trader. Since my average hold time is probably like 3 to 5 days, which is within a week. So it's more like intra-week rather than intraday. But you can call it swing trading if you want, but that's my type of style. But again, there's so many different styles to trade from, so many different ways. They're all good as long as it works for you. If it's not working, then obviously you've got to change something. But for me, I prefer to hold my trades a little bit longer and look at the higher time frame. So that's why I trade the way I do, but there's nothing wrong with day trading at all. No problem much, happy to help. No problem, Poppy, happy to help. Can you get your opinion on Euro AED? I'll quickly go for that because I am ending the stream, but I really did analyze that earlier. So yeah, Euro AED with this one, looking for sales at 1.49, really coming to that daily level. That's why I'm looking for sales. I did say earlier in the stream, buys will be looking good from these areas, but we just haven't seen that retracement, unfortunately. But yeah, sales from there, we haven't got that yet. Just wait for some development. But yeah, guys, I will be ending the stream. I will be live again tomorrow. So hope everyone is there. Yeah, I'm currently in a gold trade. Currently long on gold, which I entered a couple hours ago now at the start of the stream. So I entered on that candle there at this support. So I'm actually long on gold, which I posted in my Telegram at the start of the stream. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how this trade gets on. Obviously, I'll be live again tomorrow, so you'll see what happens, whether we hit targets or stop loss, or we're still in the trade and still consolidating. I'll let you know what happens with this trade. So if you have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to make an appearance tomorrow, same time as usual, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. And yeah, if I do get any other setups, I will let you know on any other pairs. Other than that, guys, take care. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done already, if you've enjoyed the stream. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.